Hey, Tim Downs here, West USA Realty, representing the Downs Legacy team. And this is your April 2026 real estate market report. So let's get into the numbers. Total homes sold for the city of Goodyear at the end of March 2026 was 187 homes sold. Now, the 90-day trend shows that as a 6% decrease. The year-to-year change as it relates to a year ago at this time, it's 16% less. So both numbers are in the negative. Obviously less homes are being sold from 3 months ago and from 12 months ago. However, depending on how you look at this, nevertheless, that's still somewhat of a steady state as far as the trends are concerned. Not too massive of a spike, but yet a little bit on the negative here. So let's get into pending home sales, end of March 2026. At present, we have 161 pending sales for the city of Goodyear. That is a 17% increase over the last 90 days. So we're definitely seeing an uptick there. However, from a year ago, the year-to-year change, it's still a 28% decrease. So quite a bit less activity from a year ago, but at least for now, we are seeing an uptick as far as the 90-day trend. It is on the way up at the rate of about 17%. So obviously one could argue that the sales activity in the city hasn't exactly brought itself up to what it was a year ago. However, at least we're seeing it now going in the right direction over the last 90 days. This is pending sales. These are houses that are in the pending status. So there's positive activity going on with these particular houses. So if you're looking in the city, it seems like things are starting to pick up as far as activity is concerned. We're definitely seeing this bear out in the numbers. All right, so let's get into active listings. At the end of March 2026, the city of Goodyear showed 729 active listings. This is a 10% increase over the last 90 days. However, from a year ago, we're still showing we're about 5% less than we were. So we're seeing that inventory number start to tick up. Not quite what it was a year ago, but we're definitely seeing the inventory come up as of the last 90 days. So let's get into the absorption rate. This is the months of supply of inventory. If nobody put another house on the active market, how long would the current inventory last? So at present, at the end of March 2026, we showed 3.9 months of supply. This is about a 0.6 months increase over the last 90 days and a 0.45 months increase from year to year. So those inventory numbers are definitely starting to tick up. Not quite more than a month, not quite, in fact, barely half a month of months of supply has been added to the inventory. So we're still in what you would consider a balanced market. Sellers, buyers, neither one really has the advantage in this kind of a market. So here we are, still at about 4 months supply. So now let's get into average days on market for the city of Goodyear. At the end of March 2026, it showed 82 days as the average for days on market for a listing to sell. This is over the last 90 days, about a 6.5% increase and a close to 4% increase from a year ago. So houses, obviously they're selling. However, they're staying on the market a little bit longer than they were 90 days ago and 12 months ago. All right, so let's talk about price points for the city of Goodyear. At the end of the current month in March 2026, median sales price was $486,000. Now that is a 2% increase over the last 90 days, as well as a 2% increase from a year ago. So regardless of what's going on in the economy, regardless of what's going on with interest rates, the city of Goodyear is still showing a steady increase of 2%. Okay, so now bear in mind, this is the entire city of Goodyear. The city is quite large. There's various regions within the city with different price points, different metrics that are associated with it. So if you want individual information or specific information about the area you're in, the neighborhood that you're in, please feel free to reach out to me. My name is Tim Downs. My wife is Stephanie Downs. We're with West USA Realty, representing the Downs Legacy team. Reach out to us anytime, email, text, any way you want to. If you know us, come knock on our door. Don't do that. But anyway, let us know. We'd love to help you out in any way and get you the information you need. So thank you for listening, and we'll see you next month.